The next topic area they had was capital gains and dividend taxes. No tax policy is proposed. So he hasn't said anything specifically. Now, during Trump's third year, I think it was, so it would have been 2019 or 20, yeah, I think it was 2019. There was a rumor or a proposal that had been floated out about changing capital gains calculations, not the tax itself, but the calculations for gains to be inflation adjusted. And that never went anywhere, but I hope to see that come back. The problem with capital gains taxes is that depending on what year you put money into an investment, whatever kind of asset it is, could be a building, could be a stock, could be a business, whatever. So you put money in, that creates your cost basis. And then some number of years goes by, and then you sell the thing, and then you have a difference, right? That becomes your gain. Currently, those tax rates, if you've held the asset for more than a year, then the tax rates, depending on how much income you have for that year, are 0%, 15%, or 20%. It's always going to be less than your ordinary income rate, which is your current income. That number that you have for cost is not inflation adjusted. So I've seen cases where somebody held Apple stock, for example, for 30 years, and the cost basis from way back then is incredibly low. However, if you inflation adjust that amount, then the cost basis increases dramatically. Like it can triple, for example. I've seen cases of that. And if you are paying, if when you calculate your gains, if you're paying the 0, 15, or 20%, plus maybe Obamacare taxes of an extra 3.8%, when you're calculating those gains, and then you're paying tax on that nominal amount, that does not factor in the fact that you lost purchasing power from that asset level from whatever time in the past that was. And that's hard to visualize. Just last year, right, we saw 10% inflation, okay? So if you bought something for $100 and you sold it this year for 108, then you have a paper gain of 8. But your $100 is actually worth less now. So to buy the equivalent thing now would actually be 110. In real terms, you lost $2, but in nominal terms, you gained 8, and you got to pay tax on the 8. I would love to see that inflation adjustment proposal come back for capital gains. There's been no rumblings about it, but it was a proposal before, so hopefully it can be again.